Do you feel like you have a strong support system? How does one go about building one or strengthening the one they've got? And why even bother? We're answering all those questions in today's episode. I've also created a bonus resource that you can use to help hold yourself accountable along your journey. So stay tuned because you won't want to miss this episode. Welcome to Jotindi, Journey to the Inner Divine, a sacred space for healing energy, emotional release, and soulful transformation. If you're ready to live with joy, ease, and purpose, you're in the right place. When I first met my partner and his daughter, I was completely blown away by how naturally they asked each other for help. Can you grab the mop? Hey, hand me that stool over there. Hold the spoon for me. They just asked freely without any fear or hesitation, and it made me realize something important. Support isn't just about having someone do things for you, it's about connection and trust and recognizing that you don't have to do it all alone. For so long, I lived believing that I had to carry the weight of everything on my own. Even when people were willing to help, I still hesitated to ask. I thought that I had to prove my strength or that I might be seen as a burden. And seeing these two interact was a huge wake up call for me. Asking for help is not a weakness. It's an act of courage, and it's a way to create deeper bonds. In this episode, we're going to explore how to build a support system that nourishes you on multiple levels, emotionally, spiritually, and practically. I'm going to share strategies for connecting with yourself, seeking soul connections with others, and leaning into a higher guidance that can hold you even when life feels overwhelming. So, watching them made me realize that support isn't just about practical help, it's about the quality of your connection. Asking for help freely is a reflection of trust and love and mutual respect. And that's what I call soulful connections, relationships that lift you up and allow you to be fully seen and remind you that you don't have to go through life alone. When we cultivate these kinds of connections, we not only make life easier in tangible ways, but we also feed our emotional and spiritual well being. And that's what I want to dive into next: how to intentionally build and nurture soulful connections that truly support your growth and happiness. But before we dive into how to create soulful connections, we need to touch on something equally important. Support starts with allowing yourself to receive. When you move through life believing that you're not worthy of the things that you desire, whether that's a partner, a promotion, or even something as simple as a compliment, you'll unconsciously find ways to block it. You might get it and then push it away or downplay it or sabotage it. Receiving is a skill, and like any skill, it can be practiced and developed. And the first time I truly understood this, I was at a seminar about making money. I was about 18. The facilitator shared the idea that I'm sharing with you now, and then we did an exercise that completely changed my perspective. The challenge was simple: receive a compliment without deflecting, denying, or turning it back on someone else. All we could say was thank you and move on. And I'm going to be honest, it was uncomfortable. Growing up, openly accepting compliments often felt like vanity or arrogance. And the correct response was to either deflect it with a self deprecation or bounce the compliment back to avoid drawing attention. But in that room, we were learning a different way. And since then, learning to receive has been one of the biggest gifts in my life. And you can start small. You can start small too. The next time someone says, I love your t shirt, instead of saying, oh, this old thing, try saying, thank you. I love it too. It's a tiny shift, but practicing receiving in small ways opens you up to receiving bigger things like support, opportunities, and love, things that you may have unconsciously been blocking. Support isn't just about having someone to vent to or to help with tasks. It's about surrounding yourself with people who genuinely uplift, guide, and inspire you. But before you can receive that support, you need to know who's available to give it. So start by taking a look at your life and ask yourself, who do I feel safe being myself around? Who truly listens to me without judgment? Who encourages me to grow, even when it's uncomfortable? These are the people that belong in your support circle. It might include mentors or coaches who can provide guidance and perspective. It can be friends and family who genuinely care and cheer you on. Or it could even be community groups that you share your values, passions, or spiritual practice with. And don't forget, your support circle isn't static. You can expand it, you can strengthen it, and you can even let it go if it's full of relationships that are draining your energy. A strong support circle is like having multiple safety nets in your life. When you stumble or you face challenges, you have people that you can turn to. You have advice that you can consider and encouragement to keep you going. And it's not about relying on them for everything. It's about creating a network that helps you stand taller and move forward with confidence. Your mentors, friends, partners, coaches, community members, they can all play different but very important supportive roles. And remember, identifying your support circle is the first step. The next step is learning how to lean on them without feeling guilt. And that's what we're going to cover next. And I do want to touch on something that I feel very strongly about. There was a time in my life where I truly felt like there was nobody for me to lean on. Looking back now, I can see that there were a few key people that I could have turned to, but at the time, I didn't see it. I felt completely alone in what I was going through. And if you're feeling that way, there's a couple things that you can do to help open yourself up to seeing the support that you already have. The first thing is to start small and look closely. Sometimes support exists right in front of us, but we just can't see it. This could be one friend, a coworker, a distant relative, or even somebody from an online group. So just take a moment and think back. Was there ever someone who listened to you without judgment, even if it was just a brief encounter? Acknowledge those connections and reach out to them. And don't be discouraged if the connection doesn't form immediately. Just keep working at it. There is somebody out there who's waiting to connect with you. You can also lean on professional support. Mentors, coaches, and therapists can fill a gap when you feel truly alone. They are trained to guide you and provide perspective, and having even one person who supports your growth can be incredibly stabilizing. The next thing you should do is practice self support. When your external support is limited, your internal support becomes crucial. Journaling, meditation, or self compassion exercises can help you validate your feelings and strengthen your emotional resilience until you can expand your circle. When you're feeling alone, the best thing that you can do is offer yourself compassion. Don't let negative messages play in your head or convince you that you don't deserve love. We all deserve love. And last, you can focus on trust and vulnerability gradually. If you're used to going at things alone, asking for help can feel very uncomfortable or even scary. So start by sharing small things and notice how people respond. Trust is something that grows over time, and even one person can become a safe anchor in your life. Feeling alone doesn't mean that you are truly unsupported. It often just means your network is small, hidden, or untapped. And taking intentional steps to notice and nurture that support can shift your loneliness into connection. Once you've allowed yourself to receive and learn to ask for help, the next step is cultivating trust and openness in your relationships, both with yourself and with others. Trust is the soil in which support grows. Without it, even the most well intentioned offers can feel like a threat or an obligation. When we're guarded, we unconsciously block the support that we need. Opening up doesn't mean oversharing or being vulnerable with everybody. It means discerning who is safe and allowing them in. Trust builds slowly through consistent actions, authenticity, and mutual respect. And here are some practical ways that you can cultivate your trust and openness. First, just start with being yourself. Be honest about your needs, your feelings, and your limits. Journaling or self reflection can help you clarify what it is that you're truly seeking. Second, communicate clearly. Express your intentions and your boundaries when you're engaging with others. People can't support you if they don't know exactly what you need. Third, test the waters. Begin with small acts of vulnerability. Share a challenge or ask for a minor favor and notice how people are responding. Fourth, reflect on your past support. It's very easy to get caught in a cycle of feeling like I don't have it now and I never did. So when you can identify relationships where trust has worked well in the past and study the things that made that possible, then you can replicate that and cultivate that mindset again. And fifth, embrace reciprocity. Trust grows when giving and receiving are balanced. Support is not one sided. So offer help when you can, but don't let it overshadow your own needs. Don't just share tasks or favors, but share your thoughts and your feelings and your dreams. Opening your heart to people makes the support that you offer and receive come from a place of mutual care rather than a purely transactional relationship. It's really important that you balance your giving and your receiving because healthy support systems are reciprocal. It's not just about you taking all or you giving all. So offer support in ways that feel natural and aligned with your energy as you allow yourself to learn to receive it as well. And as you may know, I used to work as a mindset coach, and that was the main focus of my business. And I still see the value in that, even in the spiritual and energetic journey that I'm on. So, trusting others and opening up doesn't mean that you're giving away your power. It means that you're allowing your life to flow with support, which creates space for growth, healing, and authentic connection. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to identify the safe spaces and relationships where openness leads to mutual nourishment. So, making that mindset shift can be extremely important. And this step isn't just about human relationships. Cultivating trust can extend into your spiritual practice. Learning to trust in the universe, to trust your inner guidance, or the process of life itself can really help you feel less isolated and more aligned with your purpose. When you tap into this larger perspective, you realize that you don't have to carry the weight of the world alone. The emotional burdens that you've been holding, the fear, worry, guilt, or grief, it can be acknowledged and processed and gently released by surrendering control over the things you can't change. You create a space for peace and stability in your life when you do this. And there are many benefits of connecting spiritually. You can create a sense of perspective. Life's challenges feel less overwhelming when you see them as part of a larger picture rather than just something terrible that you're in the thralls of right now that's never going to end. You get emotional relief. Knowing that you're not alone allows you to release tension and stress that you may have been carrying unnecessarily. You can get guidance and insight. Many people find that connecting to a higher source gives them clarity, it fills them with inspiration, and allows them to connect to their intuition that can help them guide their decisions. And it creates a sense of purpose and meaning because even painful experiences can feel like part of a meaningful journey when you view it through the lens of a spiritual connection and soul agreements. And recognizing that you're part of a bigger picture, it doesn't diminish your power, it reinforces it. By connecting with the higher source of support, you gain resilience, you gain inner peace, and the confidence to move through life knowing that even in challenging times, you are never truly alone. And as you move through your own healing journey, I want you to remember this. Support is not a weakness, it's a form of strength. Every time you allow yourself to receive, you are affirming your worthiness. Every time you open up to trust, you deepen your connections. And every time you lean into something bigger than yourself, you're reminded that you were never meant to carry the weight of life alone. You are supported, you are held, and you are worthy of love and connection. True support is like a braid. You have one strand is yourself, one is others, and one is spirit. So when one strand feels thin, the other two can hold you until you're strong again. So I'd like to invite you to take a moment to reflect on this. Which strand in your life feels like you're strongest right now, and which one needs a little more love? If you'd like to feel more supported in your own journey, I created a free resource, and this is my gift for you. I created a daily check in that you can download and fill out at the end of your day to help keep you on track and paying attention to the things that you're grateful for in life. It's to help give you some time to reflect on how you've been given and receive support for the day as well. Just head to mariahaurora.com/freebie/daily support. And as always, you have support in the form of my Facebook group called Jotindi, Journey to the Inner Divine. Super easy to find. And that's where you can give and receive support freely from other powerful women just like you. Sacred support is available to you. All you have to do is click join. And thank you so much for sharing this precious time with me today. Until next time, be gentle with yourself, trust your unfolding, and allow yourself to receive the support you deserve because there is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path.